Okay, this is the confidence interval for a proportion. Now, I suppose the first thing before we start this at all is to be clear on the difference between the mean and the proportion, confidence intervals. Okay, a proportion is effectively, as I'm saying down here, it's a bit of a population. Or in other words, a proportion of a population. Okay, 95% confidence interval for a proportion is given to us here. Well, that might look quite long and drawn out. But it simplifies to what I have down here. And again, an even shorter version of that. There, using the plus or minus symbols. Okay, the standard error given there as well. Alright, best job to do is always to jump straight into examples. It helps people to get a better understanding. So there's only 2 of them here because it's just based on the formula. Okay, if 15 out of 50 represent a proportion of a population, so the proportion there is 15 out of 50. Calculate the 95% confidence interval. That doesn't say that. The 95% confidence interval for the proportion. Okay, so we'll straight into this here now. So the proportion is 15 over 50. That's what we're told in the question up there. Work that out, we get 0.3. Right, the confidence interval, remember, was given to us up here in the formula there. Right, so we've already worked out 0.3. That's going to be brought down here. Plus or minus 1.96 p. What's p? 0.3. And in the brackets, 1 minus 0.3 over n. What's n? The number of people involved in this particular... There's 50 there. That's my n there. It's the total amount. Okay, I worked that out there. The top line there becomes 0.7 times 0.3. So we'll just pop to the calculator just for a second. 0.7 times 0.3. And that there divided by 50. 0.0042. Get the square root of that. 0.0648. You see me doing that there? 0.0648. Okay. 0.0648. Multiplying that by 96, 1.96, and then we are either adding or taking away. As you see here, you'll add one side of it and you take away the other side, and that will give us, remember, this is a 95% confidence interval, so it's an interval between 0.173, lower limit, upper limit 0.427. Okay, just using the formula. Example 2. In a sample of 500 car owners, 135 people said that they washed their cars weekly. Find the percentage of people who actually wash their cars weekly. Well, that's the first part, and the first part is literally the people that said they washed it over the amount of people that own cars effectively. Okay, 135 over 500, it becomes 0.27, which is obviously, what's the percentage there? It's obviously 27%. Okay, part 2, work out the 95% confidence interval. So that's this formula there. That's the formula that we're dealing with there up the top as well, in that pink square there, that pink shape. Okay, so we basically know everything is just a case of subbing in. So my 0.27, drop that there, and 0.27 also goes in there, and 0.27 also goes in over here. The total number involved, N500, goes in down there. That's all the variables dealt with, as it were. Hop to the calculator, and I'll just show you quickly doing this. 1 minus 0.27 is 0.73. Going to multiply that by 0.27, and then we're going to divide that by 500. And then we get the square root 0.0198. I'm going to multiply that by 1.96, 0.0389. Okay, I wrote that in as 0.0388. Adding 0.27 to that, you can see our answers down here. And I didn't do it on the calculator, but when I took it away, 0.2312. So the 95%, you can see the next line, the 95% confidence interval is given as there from 0.231 up to 0.30, I rounded it up, 0.309. Okay, we can also show the brackets there if you want, the lower and the upper in the brackets, like that. And the last question then is looking for a statement. Explain what this actually means in terms of people washing their cars. People actually washing their cars. What does this 95% confidence interval means? Well, it's almost, the name is in, it's in the name, the 95% confidence interval. So it's an interval and you're 95% confident that everyone will fit in there. This means that with 95% confidence, the figure that people actually wash their cars is between 23.1, that's obviously coming from 0.231, and 30.9%, again 0.309. They are the people that wash their cars. That's the percentage of people that wash their cars weekly. Okay, so although we worked it out at the start of the question as 27%, we are 95% confident that it's between those two percentages there, 23.1 and 30.9. This section is just based on using that formula there, guys. You might get other questions when perhaps you get, sorry, I'll just scroll down a bit. Take like a formula like this. You might be, one of the variables perhaps won't be given to you. Perhaps you'll have to work out n. You'll be given effectively the answer for the lower limit or the upper limit, and you might have to work out n. That's a common enough example there as well. And it's just based on algebra really. Okay, remember how to get rid of the square root sign would be you square it. If, for example, you did square this side here, you'd have to get 196. You'd be squaring that, and you'd be squaring this. That would cause them to be cancelled, but you will still have to square that 1.96 number there. That's basically that section there, guys, the confidence intervals for a proportion.